already know this is Pawn, Drunk, Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moonshine himself. Ladies and gentlemen, this past weekend, y'all already saw Thurman back in the ring. Dominant performance versus Mario Barrios. And in a post-fight interview, you saw him with the medallion, the WBC medallion. Meaning that fight was a title eliminator in for the WBC. Now, if y'all saw the interview that me and Rapstar Boxing Knowledge have, go subscribe to Rapstar Boxing Knowledge. We had an interview with Mauricio Suleiman, and he stated that there's a welterweight tournament. Now, I don't know how much people saw the interview, and if he explained that in other interviews and recent interviews, but they have a welterweight tournament. So Vergil Ortiz is going to be performing March 19th. March 19th is a good day. We got also Jamel Charlo going to be performing versus Brian Castaño, the rematch, the undisputed super welterweight rematch. Beautiful matchup on the same day that Vergil Ortiz is going to be fighting McKinson. Now, Vergil Ortiz is #1 rated in the WBC. Meaning that matchup is also a title eliminator in the WBC. Y'all already know that Vergil Ortiz is also #1 in the WBO. So the winner of Vergil Ortiz and McKinson, we all know that Vergil Ortiz is gonna do his thing, one of the phenom in the welterweight division. He's gonna have to fight Thurman for the final eliminator to be mandatory to Earl the True Spence, who's currently holding the WBC. Now, of course, we know that Earl the True Spence is going to be performing versus Ugas April 16th. Now, look, a lot of people has been frustrated in the welterweight division, but if the Belt Federation does their job, I won't be mad. I mean, if Bud Crawford and Earl Spence never fights, you know what? The Belt Federation, like the IBF, and look, Vergil Ortiz and Boots Ennis, Jerome Boots Ennis, another phenom in the welterweight division, is #3 and 4. They got a vacant spot in the #1 and #2 spot. The IBF usually do that. So we could also see, we also gonna see a title eliminator or a final eliminator, with, I believe, Clayton and Boots Ennis, maybe, if that fight comes to fruition. Or they can actually do, title eliminator or following eliminator with Vergil Ortiz and Boots Ennis later in the year. Look, Vergil Ortiz is in position in the WBO to be mandated to fight the likes of Bud Crawford. Y'all already know this past year, y'all already know how I've been talking about it, that I think that he did get snubbed by the WBO, and they placed Sean Porter on top of Vergil Ortiz when Vergil Ortiz was #1. And out of nowhere, the WBO put Sean Porter in the rankings. I'm not saying that he should have been there, but he was not ranked in the WBO, and then he skipped Vergil Ortiz. Vergil Ortiz was supposed to be the mandatory to Bud Crawford. But it is what it is, man. That's the politics of the sport of boxing. Lately, the WBC been working with the WBO. You saw Luis Neri won the interim WBO and WBC. Now, Mauricio Suleiman explained, and I uploaded the video a couple of days ago. And I don't know how many people saw it. If people caught it, that's why you gotta stay in tune with your boy, Mr. Moonshine, Punch Run Boxing. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, because for real, we are delivering good things, exclusive things in the boxing community, and then people don't understand what's going on. But when we got the president of the WBC explaining what's transpiring, y'all got to pay attention. Shout out to Rapstar Boxing Knowledge for hooking that interview up. Now, he also stated in the interview, and I'm gonna put it in the description box because I uploaded it a couple of days ago. He also stated that if there's a unified champion like a Earl Spence that got the WBC and the IBF, that the WBO and the WBC is working together to mandate the mandatory of the WBC and the IBF to fight one another to get a chance to fight the unified champion. Meaning, if, let's say, for example, the WBO and the WBC order the mandatories, which might be Vergil Ortiz and Boots Ennis to fight each other, and the winner gets Earl the True Spence, who's unified champion that holds the WBC and the IBF. Of course, he's gonna be fighting Dennis Ugas. We don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe let's say if it's Dennis Ugas, right? Whatever. But that's what it is. So right now, the welterweight division is that the WBC is having a tournament, a silent tournament, but we already saw that Keith Thurman already won his title eliminator, and you know, to be a mandatory, you got to win a final eliminator. So this fight right here is very important with Vergil Ortiz and McKinson, and if Vergil Ortiz win, you probably gonna see the WBC mandate Vergil Ortiz, Keith one-time Thurman for the final eliminator for the winner of Ugas and Earl the True Spence. Wow. And I think that's a good matchup. Vergil Ortiz been calling out Keith one-time Thurman for a while right now. Let me know what you think about the matchup. I mean, look, they did Sean Porter and Bud Crawford. That was ordered, and the fight happened. They didn't even go to purse bid. They negotiated a deal, and everybody got their money. And I believe that now that Golden Boy Promotions reconstructed their deal with the Zone, they got more money in the pot right now. Golden Boy got new money. Golden Boy got new money. So people may say, oh, probably the PBC is not working good with Golden Boy Promotion, but let's not forget, they did work with each other when it was Jojo Diaz versus Gary Russell Jr. You know what I'm saying? This is why we got to put the stress on the Belt Federation. Now, of course, in boxing, I don't think that the fans dictate anything in boxing, in my opinion. They don't dictate what the promoter's going to do next or what the Belt Federation wants, right? Look at the franchise, right? A lot of people, we don't like it, right? But look, we can't change it. But our voices did change how WBA do their business, right? So we just got to keep the pressure on the Belt Federations. And the Belt Federation is is starting to understand that these fighters are caring less about belts, and if they care less about belts, especially the elites, then they ain't gonna get no money. So this is why you see the WBC and the WBO try to work together to, you know, for their belts to stay prestige. And I think that's a good job. Of course, all the Belt Federation had a meeting. I think it was in Puerto Rico late last year. It's a good sign that they probably gonna work together. But that will be a good matchup. So they got a tournament right now in the WBC. Keith Thurman beat Mario Barrios. So right now, Keith Thurman may be waiting for Vergil Ortiz. And I hope that the WBC does mandate that fight for a final eliminator. But that's what it is. It's a tournament, and we might see Vergil Ortiz get his shot at Keith one-time Thurman, final eliminator. I think that's going to be a great matchup for Vergil Ortiz. A lot of people feel like the performance that Keith one-time Thurman did was dominant, but if they felt like it was Vergil Ortiz or Jerome Boots Ennis, one of the young hungry lions, in there with Keith Thurman, people probably thought that Keith Thurman could have lost that fight. You know, Keith Thurman movement was great. The one-time power is not there, but he's still hurting all his opponents that he stepped inside a ring, right? He's not knocking everybody out, but he's hurting his opponents, right? So he still got that. He still got pop. Vergil Ortiz got that pop. Boots got that pop. So we're going to see the changing of the guards. If we're not going to see the elites fight the elites, but we're watching the elites fighting the elites, Ugas is going to be fighting Earl the True Spence. And I just dropped the video. I think that Ugas is probably one of the most disrespected champions. You know, everybody's writing him off. Everybody's always talking about Spence or Bud, or they forget even about that, about Dennis Ugas. But go check out that video. How about it? Keith one-time Thurman, Vergil Ortiz. You know, later on this year, probably September. I think that would be a great fight, and I think both of them will get paid real well. Like I said, the Zone gave that Golden Boy Promotions, got that new money. They got money to spend, and you know, Al Heyman, you know, he's not reluctant to send his fighters to the Zone. We saw with Daniel Jacobs, we saw with Mikey Garcia. So I do see that it could be a highly possibility that we're going to see Vergil Ortiz versus Keith from Thurman later on this year. So the WBC is doing a good job, in my opinion, in that sense. Of course, not everybody does a great job. We could be frustrated sometimes in the sport of boxing, but I think this is a good sign. There's a good sign, and everything is lining up for the new generation to take over the welterweight division. Let me know what y'all think, man. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, get my updated videos. I love y'all. God bless, and on to the next.